to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you live from beautiful Hungary here in Central Europe. I hope everybody is having a great start to their weekend. In this class, we are looking at IELTS Task 2 writing, a little bit of a trickier question. Now, this class is a members chat class. Of course, everybody is welcome to watch. Hi, Yextan. I see one of our members is already in the class. And in 90 minutes, we will have an all chat class for everybody that will focus on reading. While we wait for some more of our members to join into this class, this lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check us out there and join our premium packages. And for general IELTS, check us out at GIELTShelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have many hours of HD video lessons for all the sections of the exam with strategies and tips, as well as original practice exams, computer-based and paper-based formats, an application for your phone, and lots more. So definitely check us out there. Hi, Shruti. Hi, Ferdavs. Hi, Rajamani Kam. I see more members joining in. That's great. Quick peek at our websites, aehelp.com, blue background. Click that big red button to join the premium package there. Get your My Student account. For the general, GIELTShelp.com, same layout, green background. Click that red button to join that there. As you can see, we're also British Council IELTS Registration Center partners. So students from Saudi Arabia can even register for their exams through us. And if you have questions about our products or the exam, send me an email, Adrian, A-D-R-I-A-N, at aehelp.com. Hi, Rajveer. You can order our books from Amazon, our exam books for the academic version. Search for AE Helps Academic IELTS on Amazon, and for general, search for GE Helps General IELTS there. So tomorrow, students, we will have classes. So members, today we're going to start our Task 2 right now, and then tomorrow we will finish that. And for everybody, tomorrow we will have a speaking part 3 class as well. So that extra day tomorrow of classes is just to make up for some of the days last week when I was away. So tomorrow we have classes. Usually Sundays there's no classes, but this week there will be. All right, so a couple different students submitted some questions about Task 2. One student sent this Task 2 question, or a very similar Task 2 question. Let's read this carefully. So IELTS Task 2 writing, you should spend about 40 minutes on this task. People these days work hard to buy more. This has made life more entertaining and comfortable in many ways, but it also demands a lot of time and energy. So this was kind of the main idea of the question that one of our students sent us and asked if we can do a class focusing on this Task 2 question. And then another student said, well, I have difficulty with questions where they ask, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, or vice versa? Do the disadvantages outweigh the advantages? So what I did is I kind of took the question type and the question topic, and I combined the two into this one question for us today. Hi, Carolina. Nice to see you in class. So again, let's read it together one more time, and then we will paraphrase it to make sure it's clear and we understand what's going on. So you should spend about 40 minutes on this task. People these days work hard to buy more. This has made life more entertaining and comfortable in many ways, but it also demands a lot of time and energy. Discuss whether the advantages outweigh the disadvantages of this trend. You should write at least 250 words. Okay, so step number 1, let's paraphrase this question using our own words so that we can focus our ideas and gather some useful vocabulary that we may use in the essay. So go ahead, members, do that. Carolina, how was your exam scores? Did you do okay? So I'm going to paraphrase while you do the same. All right. So there's my paraphrase. Give you a couple more seconds. Hi, Preeti. Here we go. Individuals instead of people. These days, one very good way to paraphrase these days is nowadays. Notice how this is one word in English. Nowadays, 3 words pushed together, nowadays. So individuals nowadays put in much time to earn money so they can consume more. People these days work hard to buy more. So this short sentence and this sentence have the exact same meaning, and I'm also thinking of consumerism. Carolina, that's fantastic. 7.566 and 6.5, so you have an average of 6.5, right, band? That's fantastic. Good for you, Carolina. I think you did a really good job. Are you happy with that score, Carolina, or do you need more? All right. Meanwhile, I see Ferdovs has the paraphrase up. Ferdovs says, today individuals work more than ever before to purchase more. Yeah, Ferdovs, that works. Purchasing power or purchase more is the same as buy more or consume more. Usually when we're consuming, we're buying. So, Carolina, you need more. All right, keep working, Carolina, because I know you can get it. Okay, I know you can. You're very, very clever, and I'm sure you can get more. All right. Rajveer Singh says, nowadays, individuals do strict labor to purchase more items. This phenomenon has transformed their lives with added enjoyment and convenience in many ways. Yeah, Rajveer, I would put the word added enjoyment, so greater enjoyment as opposed to before. However, it requires considerable time and energy. Rajveer, the word you're looking for is considerable time. Considerable time, not numerous time. We don't say numerous time, we say considerable time. Okay, it means a significant amount of time. These are the correct expressions, Rajveer. Okay. All right. And then, Rajveer, you did a very good job to paraphrase the end of the question as well. So discuss if the benefits outweigh the deficits. Good, good. All right. Nicely done. Okay. So here is my full paraphrase one more time. Individuals nowadays put in much time to earn money so they can consume more. As a result, life has become fun and convenient. However, this also requires more time and effort. Explain whether the benefits of this trend are more than the negatives. So that's my full paraphrase. Okay, in this question, what is the topic? Help me identify the topic. So the topic, of course, is what are we discussing specifically? So what are we discussing in this essay? Another way to ask it is, what is the subject of this essay? Can anybody tell me that? It's not absolutely clear from the question, so you have to be clever. And it's very important, students, that you identify the topic of the essay. So what are we actually talking about? Rajveer says it's hard labor to earn more. That's the subject. That's what we're discussing here. Okay. Carolina says it's about people working hard. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what other opinions come up. Ferdov says working more is good or bad. Preeti says hard work to earn more. All right. Yeah, okay. Always go back to the original question when you're identifying the topic to focus on. So people these days work hard to buy more. This has made life more entertaining and comfortable in many ways. So definitely this sentence introduces the subject, and you're absolutely right. Hard work for consumption is the topic. Okay. So the topic here is more effort for money. Okay. That's how I would identify it. So more effort for money. We're putting in more effort for more money. Okay. That's the topic. All right. So now we need to ask what, why, how. In this case, it's very important. So what does it mean to give more effort for more money? Can you tell me that in your own words, what that means? And then, of course, we'll go on to the why and the how. Okay. So what does it actually mean to give more effort to make more money? Again, explain it in your own words. I'll do the same. Sure. Okay. So yeah, Ferdov says something very similar to what I just wrote. Ferdov says it's working more than 8 hours a day. Okay. Rajveer says people work more hours per day to earn more money. Very good. Okay, nice definition. Shruti says more sacrifices for the sake of enjoyment. I think, Shruti, you're off topic there, so careful. Yakstan says work longer time, spending time and energy. Okay. All right. So the what here is increased amount of time spent at the office or job, such as 10 hours instead of 8, to increase the total monthly or yearly salary. Absolutely. Why do people do it? So according to this question, so that they can purchase more products, bigger homes, better cars, quality food. For example, okay? So this is what you should be thinking. So that they can purchase more products, bigger homes, better cars, quality and tasty food. That's why we do it, okay? And then how? How is always an example. So give me an example. All right? Give me an example of a person who is working hard to make more money so that they can be entertained more. I'll do the same. Our examples can be completely different here, okay? So okay. So the how is the example. EX then says manager works about 8 to 9 p.m. in the office. Yeah, okay, Exton. And always think about the full example. Okay, when you're thinking of examples, think of the full example. All right. Complete example. So in my case, I'm thinking of working more. Software programmer works 60 hours each week, and also the concept of buying a 200 square meter home, driving a Mercedes, going on vacations to Hawaii. So the more entertainment and more convenience, okay? Rajveer says people spend 10 hours per day to get bonuses, which help them buy luxurious items and entertainment. Rajveer, it's not bad, but be specific with those examples, okay? So what luxurious item, what entertainment? And you want to get that in your mind because especially in questions where you're deciding between the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, you need to have crystal clear specific examples to help you make that decision and make it better. Okay, so be specific as possible. Notice how I'm saying go to Hawaii on vacation and buy a Mercedes. Okay. Carolina said, my father decided to start his own restaurant, so he works Monday to Sunday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., but he also owns a BMW and vacations in Costa Rica. So finish the idea, Carolina. Finish the idea. Jitendra says, for example, one of my friends is working at a construction company as an engineer, and he always does overtime so he can afford buying and then go into the second half, okay? Give the example for the full question, students. That's really important when you're going through this. Now, in the official exam, you're doing that in your mind, and it's very important to create that full example in your mind. All right. Okay, so what's my next step? The controlling idea. And the controlling idea here is do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages of this trend, right? That is the controlling idea. So we have to figure out, is this good or is this bad? All right, what do you think? So what's good about this? What's good about working hard to buy more? Give me some answers. Whatever comes to your mind, quickly, nice and fast. Okay? What's good about working hard so that we can buy more? You have to think about the advantages and the disadvantages before you can decide which side to choose. Okay? Don't be too quick to decide. Okay? So Preeti says people can live a luxurious life, okay? So people can experience more luxurious parts of life, let's say, like that, okay? All right, like drive a nice car, see nice places. Okay, sure. So Carolina says less stress about paying expensive bills. Sure. Okay. All right, and here the question helps you a little bit, right? Because the question says um, that this has made life more entertaining and comfortable in many ways, right? So that's okay. All right. All right. Jitendra says expertise in work. I think, Jitendra, that's going off topic. The controlling idea here is not about whether it's beneficial for your work to work more, but whether it's beneficial for your overall quality of life. Okay. Yexton has a good point. So Yexton says we can buy whatever we want, expensive items for the family, right? So more buying power, more options. Okay, what are the disadvantages? So what would be the disadvantages of working hard to buy more? Let's take the opposite. And then we can compare and come up with a thesis. Okay, Carolina says stress, work-related stress. Yeah. Bad health. Less time with family. Okay. Michelle says less lack of time to spend with near and dear. Near and dear is a little bit awkward, Michelle, to use in this case. That expression, family, is better. Okay. Preeti says no focus in the present. So, yeah, the power of now, right? So lack of focus on the present context. So what's happening around them now. Okay, so we have lots of ideas for disadvantages. Okay, and we have some ideas for advantages. So stress less to pay expensive bills, more buying options, people can experience more. All right, let's decide. So what do you think for your thesis? Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages or vice versa? So what should we write about? Should we tell our reader that the benefits are more or the deficits are more? Okay? Of working hard to be able to buy more. What do you think? What would be the easier choice in this case? I would not write partial. Okay? For this kind of question, students, do not write partials, okay? For do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Okay. Do not write partial responses. This would be a weak essay. Okay. So if you say, oh, it's both advantages and disadvantages, it's kind of makes for a weak essay. Okay. If the question says discuss the advantages and the disadvantages, then you can write about both, but here you should focus on one. Okay. So instead, focus on one side. this will read much better. Okay. All right. Okay, so Yextan says the advantages are more. Rajveer says deficits are more. Carolina says benefits are more. Okay, sure. You know what? Write your thesis. Let's see how your thesis sounds. So Yextan, write a thesis with the advantages. Rajveer, write a thesis with the deficits. Carolina, write a thesis with the benefits. And then we'll see, okay? I'm going to do the same. So I'll write 2 thesis statements in this case. Just so you can see both sides, okay? All right. So there's my first one. And now I'll write the opposite. And then we'll compare and decide. Okay, here we go. So B Okay. All right, so Rajveer says, although working more can provide benefits like purchasing a luxurious house or an entertaining gadget, the deficits of this trend are more, such as poor health and less family time. Rajveer, that's a very complex thesis. You don't need to include, I think, the purchasing a luxurious house and entertaining gadgets because your body paragraphs will focus on poor health and less family time, okay? But it's not bad. Yexton says working longer hours to earn more has more advantages than disadvantages, like fulfilling family needs and experiencing a luxurious life. Yexton, you have good ideas, but I had to correct your grammar, so pay attention to that. Jitendra says benefits for working hard to achieve goals require financial help. It's a fast track to grab opportunities. I'm not sure where you're going with that, Jitendra. You have to rethink it. So I wrote two thesis statements here. First one, advantages outweigh disadvantages. The benefits of working more to purchase more are greater than the deficits, as this situation empowers individuals for better experiences and less stress. Okay, so better experiences, body paragraph 1, less stress, body paragraph 2. That's my argument for this situation. Okay, that's advantages outweigh disadvantages. Now, the opposite, disadvantages outweigh the advantages. The negatives of effortful labor in order to consume more are greater than the positives, as overworking leads to less time with family and more stress about earning. Okay. More stress about, I'm going to say finances. Okay. All right. So now that I've created both of these, A and B, I have to decide which one I think is going to be easier for me to write. In this question, or in some contexts, you really do have to look at both sides of the argument and then think, okay, which one of these would be easier for me to write? For those of you who are practicing this at home, or these kinds of questions at home, in the official IELTS exam, if you get this type of a question, it might be a good idea to think of both sides of the coin and create and think about a thesis statement for both sides, and then choose which one you think is easier for you to write. Okay? Carolina says there are several advantages of working overtime to buy expensive items rather than working for an average salary. Okay, but where are you going with that, Carolina? So you have to think, what am I going to do with that? What will my body paragraphs look like? For me, Carolina, it's not 100% clear what kind of body paragraphs are going to come from your thesis. Okay? You have to have that clarity. So here I have that clarity with better experiences and less stress. Okay? All right. Less or more stress, that's subjective. You might include that as disadvantage, or you might include that as an advantage in this context. Okay? All right. So for me, I feel like A is going to be a little bit easier, talking about the advantages, especially when a person enjoys the work that they do. So I'm going to stick with this thesis statement. Okay? All right. Now, let's start the introduction. If questions come up, students, just ask me. Don't be shy. So the introduction should start, of course, with the hook. Give me a good hook for this introductory paragraph. Give me a nice hook. Simple fact that catches the reader's attention. Okay, I'm going to write the hook while you think of yours. All right. So give me a nice hook, something that's related to this topic, related to the controlling idea, and catches the reader's attention. Stay tight, stay focused on the question at hand. Okay, here's mine. So in this fast-paced consumer society, people often work over 60 hours a week to pay for their needs and wants. Yeah, Rajveer, I love it. That's beautiful. So Rajveer writes, people are working around the clock to earn more money than ever before. Very nice, Rajveer. I like it. So I'll post your idiomatic expression here, Rajveer. Work around the clock. Okay? it means lots of hours of work, or even means 24 hours of work. 24 hours of work. Okay, so the clock, working around the clock, right? So lots and lots of work. A clock usually shows 12 hours, but it's even more. Okay, so nice use of that expression, work around the clock, in that hook, Rajveer. Good job. That would definitely lead the examiner to think that you have some high-level English skills, Rajveer, certainly. Carolina says, millions of people spend at least 8 hours of their day working hard, more specifically to buy expensive items. Not bad, Carolina. The end of it gets a little bit complex unnecessarily. 8 hours a day is the standard amount of time, full-time labor. So I would increase that, Carolina, to 10. And Carolina, make sure that for task 2, you're using words for 0 to 10, not the number for task 2. Task 1, it's okay, but for task 2, make sure to use words. So millions of people, Carolina, this is what I would write. Millions of people spend at least 10 hours a day working hard to buy expensive items. Take out the more specifically and the comma, okay? Yexton says, working more hours is adopted by millions of people these days in order to live luxurious lives. Yeah, Yexton, good, good. Mahesh says, in this contemporary era, every individual has to work hard to win their bread and butter. Yeah, Mahesh, in this question, we're really focusing on working hard to live better. So not just for survival, although I respect that's, of course, the case for many people. They work hard for their basic needs. In this case, we're discussing working extra or more hours to live more comfortable lives. Okay, so make sure you don't lose that. It's very dangerous in this question, students, to start thinking about, well, you know, somebody's working hard so they can pay for their basic needs. Unfortunately, that's true. There are a lot of people out there like that, but this question is not focusing on that, so careful. Okay. Prajta Yadav says, nowadays, the abundance of people spend most of their day working hard in order to grab their basic needs. Same mistake, Prajka. It's not about basic needs. It's about working hard to buy more than your basic needs. Okay? So careful. If you talk about working hard to buy basic needs, you're talking about a different question. Okay? So give me the background. Of course, the background is the definition and the importance of the question. Okay? I'll write the background, you write the background, and then we'll compare. Okay? All right. So there's my background. Millions of people opt to spend their time at work rather than with family and friends, so they increase the quality and quantity of goods and services they buy. This has a major impact on their personal and social lives. Okay? So from the hook to the background, and now, of course, I just plug in my thesis. And the thesis is the one that advantages outweigh the disadvantages, is the one that I'm choosing. So I'm just going to copy this in here to finish my introductory paragraph. Okay. Here we go. In this fast-paced consumer society, people often work over 60 hours a week to pay for their needs and wants. Millions of individuals, I'm going to change people, opt to spend their time at work rather than with family and friends so they can increase the quality and quantity of goods and services that they buy. This has a major impact on their personal and social lives. The benefits of working more to purchase more are greater than the deficits, as this situation empowers individuals for better experiences and less stress. That would be my Band 9 introduction for this question. Okay. All right. Rajveer writes, individuals usually spend 10 to 12 hours in their office to earn bonuses, which they use to purchase entertaining gadgets and luxurious cars. Yeah. And Rajveer, students, think about always those big global pictures. So objects that we buy, that's one part of consumerism, is physical objects like cars, computers, houses. And of course, the other part of consumerism are services, like going to the hairdresser, going on a vacation somewhere, going jet skiing, scuba diving. So those experiences that we pay for. So whenever you're thinking about consumerism, or you have a question in the IELTS that deals with buying and consuming, think about products and services always. Okay. All right. Rajveer writes, this phenomenon has a considerable impact on their personal and professional lives. Yeah, sure, that works. Yaxten says people work about 15 hours in their jobs to have a large salary and be able to amuse themselves and enjoy life. Okay, Yaxten, be really careful with your grammar. Okay, there was definitely some correction there that I had to apply for it to make sense. Okay, yeah, I see you're making some corrections now as well. So pay attention, word order, grammar. Always focus, students, on practicing your word order and grammar. It's a good idea to have grammar textbooks and just go back and do the exercises in those grammar textbooks. And make sure to read at least an hour or two each day, not just articles, but novels, so that you can get into some more fluent use of English grammar. Okay, super important. All right. So again, this is my introduction. Now I'm ready for the body paragraphs. And of course, body paragraph 1 will be better experiences, and body paragraph 2 will be less stress. So members, will continue from there tomorrow, okay? We have clarity, we know where we're going. Importantly, when you have questions where it's not clear whether it's easier to write about the advantages or the disadvantages, create a thesis, even if it's just in your mind, on each one. So the benefits thesis and the deficits thesis, and then you should be able to decide. The other important step for this type of question is don't discuss both sides in your essay. It's awkward. Okay? If the question asks discuss both the negatives and the deficits, or both the advantages, disadvantages, then discuss both. But if it says does one outweigh the other, don't say no, they're both. It's awkward and it makes for a weak essay. Always choose one side. In this case, we choose one side, okay? When you're thinking of the what, why, how, it's important for the how to be a specific example that deals with the whole question so you can have more clarity in your mind, okay? All right, coming up in about 35-40 minutes, we will have a reading class, some reading practice, members and students. So make sure to stay tuned for reading practice, and strategy. Okay. Preeti, 285 words is okay. Maybe a little bit more. Try to get closer to 300 words for task 2, okay? 250 is the absolute minimum. So if you write 300 words, you're actually only 20% over the minimum requirement. Preeti, 250 is the minimum that you have to write for task completion. In TOEFL, it's 300. That's the minimum. So a good task 2 essay should be closer to 300 words, maybe even a little bit more. Good question. Okay, students, again, check us out at aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Lots of help there, lots of sample essays that you can practice with. And gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Join those premium packages. Begin learning for success today. That's it for me for right now. I will be back in about 40 minutes with some reading exercise and practice, and of course some strategy as well. Keep it up. Keep going forward. Much love. Bye for now. Adrian from Budapest.